Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am finally working on that Q&A video. A couple weeks ago I posted on the community tab on YouTube asking if any of you guys had questions, and boy did you ever. So today we are going to be diving into those and I will be answering them all. I kind of made some notes so I don't lose my train of thought and going on any random rabbit trails, but so let's get started. First, I really want to thank you guys for all of your love and support, and with our family here on YouTube and watching our channel. Just y'all are always so encouraging, and it just always blesses my heart whenever y'all leave your sweet comments and, you know, asking these questions. So I just want to say a huge thank you to every single one of you. Okay, so I can't chit chat too much, y'all, because there's a lot of questions we gotta get through here. So Miss Alma Trumbull left a question, and Miss Alma, you always leave the sweetest comments on every single video, and they just bless my heart and encourage me every single day. So thank you very much for that. So Miss Alma asks, what's the Bible verse that you live by? What's the one thing that you would want to do before the good Lord calls you home? So the Bible verse that I live by would be James 1:4. And that reads, let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. And then in verse 5, it goes into asking God for wisdom. So, and in some versions of the Bible, instead of the word perseverance, it uses the word endurance. And that word endurance really spoke to me. I was going through just a hard time in my life. This was many years ago. And that word endurance and perseverance just spoke to me so much of pushing through, not letting whatever trial that you're going through stop you and hinder you in your faith, but instead build you up in your faith and in your walk with God. The whole book of James, James chapter 1, that's just what it focuses on, and it's just so encouraging to me because we all face something in our life at some point in time, whether it's minor or big, and I have just always fallen back on this time and time again, anytime that I have faced something hard in our lives. Okay, so the one thing that I would like to do before the good Lord calls me home is I would really like to go in the mission field. Nathan and I, honestly, we thought that's what we were going to do for a good portion of our life before we had kids. And even with thinking about starting our family, we were just like, we'll just take the kids with us. Well, fast forward, that did not happen. We obviously had kids close together. And not that that's a bad thing or that it stopped us from doing what we wanted, like our goals just kind of changed. So I think maybe one day, now instead of full-time missions, my thought is to do like family missions trips. I would really like to do that. So hopefully one day we will get to that. Traveling with a large family is rather expensive though, so it would have to be obviously God ordained. So that is something that I would really like to do. So to add on to this, another person had asked what my favorite book of the Bible was, and that was Karen S. So I would have to say James. I really find a lot of encouragement through that, but I also like to do the Proverbs of the day that matches with the calendar day. Like if it's, June 3rd, it's July, right? No, it's August. Then you read, Proverbs 1 on August 1st. So that, I like to do that as well. Okay, so moving on to Suzanne Robinson. She asked, if you had a career outside the home, what would you like to do? You have the best job ever though. I really like this question because it's neat to think about, because I am a stay-at-home mom and that's what I've done. I was 22 when we had Taylor, and obviously I'm having another baby. So I've got a lot of time still left at home caring for our family. Now, I do have to say that is what I wanted to do. When Nathan and I were planning our lives together and planning on getting married, we knew that we wanted to have a large family. And we knew that we wanted me to stay home. And I was almost 100% positive that we would homeschool. And obviously that's what we have done. So while I am 100% happy being home, I have never felt the need to, I need a career. I don't even know what that noise was. I do have to say, within the last few years, I have thought about that. I was like, this would be something really cool to do. So anyways, I do really enjoy that question. So actually, before Nathan and I got married, I was going to go to school to be an ultrasound tech. Imagine that. But I had gotten accepted. The school was rather expensive. I knew that we were planning on getting married soon and young. I was 19 when we got married. So I kind of put that on the back burner. So anyways, those were my thoughts before like we got married. Okay, so what I would do now. I actually think I would really enjoy being a nurse. Now, as a young 18, 19-year-old, that wasn't even on my radar to go to nursing school. But over the last several years that, I don't know, just it kind of, the thought of being a nurse intrigues me. I think that I would really enjoy doing that. The other thing that I almost did was go to school to be an interior decorator. So I still would really like that. I really enjoy decorating. I really enjoy doing projects like around the house and stuff. Excuse me, I have reflux so bad, y'all. Y'all just have to bear with me. In fact, I forgot to take my medicine, didn't I? That would be helpful, wouldn't it? Okay, I'll get there in a minute. So I really enjoy decorating and just making our house a home. So that would be a fun career to me. Although I don't know that I'd like to do it for other people. I don't know. So something else that I have thought about dabbling into is being a realtor. I'm kind of obsessed with looking at houses and I can remember them all. It's a really weird skill that I have. Anyway, and I would find a lot of satisfaction in buying like a fixer-upper and flipping it, fixing it up and selling it. Now that takes a lot of money and a lot of skill involved and time. And that's just something that we would never probably be able to pull off, but that I've mentioned it to Nathan's many times over the years. So I don't know. I still kind of think about getting my realtor's license and doing that on the side, but when I don't really have a ton of extra time. So anyways, that wasn't a simple answer. I'm really not a very simple person, straightforward. So, but that's the answers that I have. Okay. So Catherine Sloan asked, what made you want to start a YouTube channel? And how did you push through the days before you had a lot of subscribers? So I had gotten into watching YouTube, watching other large families, and I just enjoyed watching those channels. And I was like, I really would like to do this. I pray that I'm an encouragement to mothers out there. And I think so many times I like to show real life. More so because it's just easier than editing out. Like my house is never quiet, as y'all can hear. I mean, there's people in the living room talking and playing. It's never quiet. It's never perfect. My house is never Pinterest worthy clean because there's people living here. And I think it's important to remember those things. So that's why I show those things. And it's also an encouragement for me, like Jessica, just keep it real because I don't have time to do anything else. But my hope and prayer was that I would be an encouragement to moms out there, that you can do this. Being a mom is hard, whether you have one child, 2 children, 3, 4, 10, it's hard. I get that comment all the time about like, I don't know how you do it. I'm struggling with 2 kids. Whenever I had 2 kids, I was struggling too because you're parenting 2 children. Like it's hard no matter what. And I hope to show that leaning back on our faith and leaning back on God, it's what helps us get through those moments that we want to scream out to God, please help us in this. So that was my hope in starting a YouTube channel, was to just be an encouragement. And the other thing was to show that it's not as hard as what you would imagine to have a large family, that children truly are a blessing. And yes, it is hard having many children compared to like if I just had 2 teenagers, like I could be doing whatever I want. But there's beauty in having a large family, and I don't know. I was just hoping that I could share that it's not as crazy or as hard as what someone would imagine it to be. Maybe it is crazy, or when you see it on YouTube, I don't know, but that's my heart and how I feel about it. Okay, so Camo and Bows, hi! So she asked me, do you make pretty good money on your channel? And there's several questions. I had a couple YouTube questions. So she asked if I made good money on YouTube. I use my phone to record videos. How do I transfer them to my channel? And she told me that I should make a video on how to start a YouTube channel, that it would do really good. I don't know about that. So I honestly, I knew nothing whenever I started, nothing. I didn't have a camera. I still don't have a camera. I used my phone. So first I'll answer the money question. I am making a steady monthly income now doing YouTube, and it is enough that it makes the work worthwhile now. And honestly, it's blessing our family huge. I'm able to use that for the kids' extracurricular activities and, extra things that we want to do. We went to the water park a few weeks ago, and, that's expensive to take our family to the water park. It's like $150. So I was able to pay for that. So that's how it's blessing us. It is blessing us to be able to do those things. Okay, so back to, y'all follow my brain. Okay, so I do use my phone. I watched a lot of videos and read a lot on how to do YouTube on your phone. So through my research, I found out about the app InShot, and that's what I use. I use an app on my phone. So I record the videos on my phone, and then I put those video clips in the app InShot, and I create a video through that. And through that app, it is so easy, y'all. It is so easy. I mean, it's like ridiculous easy. That's the only way that I could do it, I promise you. So in that app, I saved the video as all the clips of videos together as one video. And then that's saved as a video on my phone. And then you can just straight upload it from your phone to YouTube. Bada bing, bada boom. That's it. Like, it seriously is ridiculously easy. So the number one app that's recommended, like when you're using your phone, especially an iPhone, is iMovie. I did not find that as user friendly, but I had an older phone then. And I even toyed whenever I needed a new phone because it just wasn't working for videos anymore. I was like, should I just get a camera and be like real and professional? But this honestly is just so easy. That's what makes it doable for me, that I decided to just upgrade my iPhone, and it's what works for me. Like, I'm all about keeping it real. And I need easy. Otherwise, I don't have the time to sit down for hours to edit, like, at all. It doesn't take me hours. Like, I might spend 30 to 45 minutes, depending on the video, to like edit it. If it's a different type of video, it will take me longer. But my typical vlogs don't take me very long. Okay, so on top of that, I had another question. My motherhood life had asked, when do you find time to edit these videos? So with that, I kind of do it as I go, as I'm vlogging. As I'm going about my video, I just drop it in that app, and it seriously doesn't take me any time. And then all the like finishing stuff I do in the evening after the kids are in bed. Again, that part probably takes me like 30 to 45 minutes. Again, depends on the type of video. So that's how I do it. And again, it has to be easy for me to be able to do it. Those were all the YouTube questions. So California mom. Hi, California mom. So she asked me, do we have a name for baby boy yet? Do we? If so, will we be doing a name reveal? And she will just go ahead and ask the most popular question. Any more babies after this guy's arrival? Okay, so no, we do not have a name yet. I don't think I will announce it until we have him, because we just don't know. And I honestly don't think we will know until we see him. We're still toying around with a few of the names. The middle name is kind of getting harder right now. I don't know. We'll just see what we come up with. So I will definitely announce it. I don't know how I will announce it yet. I want to do something different than what I did with Kinley. Thought about doing it in the actual birth vlog. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so more babies after this. I don't know, honestly. We take it one baby at a time. We pray after we have a baby, Nathan and I together, and we just ask God, what do you have for our family? What direction do you want us to take? And so far, it's been to trust him with our family size, hence the 11 kids. So that's what we're doing. There was a time, it was actually after Miley. I had a really rough recovery after Miley. She's our 5th child. And I was just done. I was like, Nathan, I can't do anymore. I am so done. I just can't. And she was not a happy baby. So that didn't make matters any easier. And I was just like, I can't do this anymore. And he was like, okay, this is different, because we had 5 kids in like 5-6 years. I said, but I really haven't sought the Lord about it. I have not prayed. Let me do that. You know, let's pray together, and you pray as well. And I'm telling you what, when I prayed, God, it was almost immediate. God just 100% changed my heart. And we actually tried to have Logan, our 6th baby, which it actually took us 6 months to get pregnant with him. Isn't that funny? Anyway, so that's just how we've gone about it after each baby. Sure, there's times that I'm overwhelmed. I mean, even during this pregnancy, I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I know that God will carry me through. And had we stopped after Miley, we would not have these 6 other children that we obviously cannot imagine our lives without. So I don't know. Only time will tell. Right now, I'm having an 11th baby. Okay, so our blessed family asks, what are your rules on dating for your kids? Girl, I don't know. I guess I need to start figuring that out somewhat soon. I really don't know. So our oldest is 15, and then Addison turns 14 next week, and then Peyton will be 13 shortly after. So we are just now like approaching, we're in the teen years. So far, none of them have been interested in boys. So I don't know. We will definitely cross that bridge as we come to it. And I know just the way that we've done things and the way that we feel to do things is it'll be a child by child case, like how we feel a certain child is responsible, and even the boy or girl that they are wanting to date, like we'll just take it probably case by case. I do like the idea of group dating as far as like them going off with friends and going to the restaurant and bowling or, stuff like that. I do like that idea better than just like one-on-one dating. But again, we'll take it as it comes. Okay, so Hope Comer asked, each of my kids' favorite food or meal. Okay, so hands down, everybody loves my chicken pot pie. Like, most people request that for their birthday dinner. Most of the kids like tacos. Taylor is our pickiest. She's our oldest, naturally. And Addison would be our second pickiest. So they really like chicken stuffing casserole. Like, they really like the things that I make over and over again. I try new recipes. I get through these spurts where I want to try all these new recipes and try different things, and nobody ever likes them. And it's frustrating. So they are not big on pasta, like at all. Even Nathan. Like, guys, like Alfredo. Like, there's so many good pasta dishes out there, and they just don't like them. So the reason why I cook the things that I do is it's because it's what my family likes. So they're rather picky. So Taylor would be the chicken stuffing casserole is her favorite right now. Addison really likes sloppy joes. A lot of the kids really like sloppy joes. Peyton really likes Mexican lasagna. Jackson likes all of those combined. Like, not combined, but he likes all of those. But I would have to say his favorite is probably chicken pot pie. Miley likes chicken teriyaki, which Taylor does like that too. Logan, actually, the kid loves spaghetti. So this is hilarious. Every time I make spaghetti, everybody's like, oh, spaghetti, it's just like an easy meal, whatever. And Logan, almost every night, he's like, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. And then one night I made spaghetti. He went, finally, my favorite meal. And I just died laughing. I was like, well, at least a kid likes spaghetti. So Reagan will eat anything. And loves just about everything. Harper, she hasn't like declared a favorite yet. Drew actually I don't want to say a picky eater, but he like picks at his food. He does not eat a lot, like at all, but he's got enough energy, so he's doing okay. Okay, so, all right, so Lizette Molina, so excuse me. Do you have any help postpartum from mother-in-laws or anyone else? I would feel I wouldn't have survived the first 2 months, just hubby and I. So, as of right now, no, we don't have much help at all. And we've never had long-term help. So now my mom watches the kids when we're in the hospital having the baby, because I really want Nathan to stay with me. Depending on the situation, Nathan has come home and been with the kids and put them to bed and come back to the hospital and has been with me. And then my mom's here. It's just kind of varied based off of whatever circumstances are going on in our life at that time. So as soon as my mom lives in town, So as soon as like we're home from the hospital, sometimes she stays for a day just to help out, and sometimes she goes immediately home. Again, she has a full-time job, so it depends on what she has going on too. So it's pretty much just Nathan and I. We're very thankful for that help while we're in the hospital though, because we don't have to worry about the kids, and you know, like my mom's taking care of them. So now when we had only little children, my in-laws would come in town and stay for about a week, sometimes 2, and help out with cooking and cleaning and stuff like that. But since the last, I think since Reagan, so the last 5 babies, Reagan, Harper, Drew, Kinley, this baby, we have not needed that. It's just a different season that we're in. Having our 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th child isn't as overwhelming of a thought as having our first 1 through 4 kids. Granted, when we had our 4th, our oldest was like 3.5 or 4. And having only little kids, you know, that it just makes things a little bit harder because there's more maintenance to that, more cleaning and stuff like that. So now it's not as a big deal, if that makes any sense. We're in a flow, we're in a rhythm. We've been doing this many times. We got it down. We know what we're doing. So no, we don't have much help. I would like a maid. That would be really nice. Could you imagine having a maid just like clean up after you? That would be amazing. Actually, I think the kids should learn to clean up after themselves. I'm only kidding. Okay. Okay, so Raisin Boys ×3 asks, what's your baby's bedtime routine? Do they sleep all night? If so, any tips? Her 10-month-old was up every hour last night. Girl, that just happens. Like, sometimes kids are just off their schedule and they wake up. They're just not feeling themselves. They just can't sleep. We have that happen all the time. So I shared a long time ago, it was like over a year ago, of our bedtime routine. I keep thinking like maybe I should update that video, but I will link that in the description box below. It's pretty much, you know, what we do now. I am not like a super strict sleep trainer with babies or have done baby wise or anything like that. Like you can just tell, like right now, Drew goes to bed about 8:30 and so do Reagan and Harper. Somewhere's about that time. Definitely Drew's in bed by 8:30. Sometimes the little girls, it's closer to 9, just with whatever we have going on in the evenings. We're very go with the flow around here. Kinley's usually ready for bed about 9:15. And you can just tell that they're sleepy and just laying them down. If they have a hard time falling asleep, we've done many different things over the years, from rubbing their backs, rocking them, reading stories. With Logan, he was one of the hard ones that we had going to sleep. So we would play a certain song on Nathan's phone. I can't even think of what it's called right now. So every time we hear that song, Nathan and I are both kind of twitching. It's a Christian song. It comes on the radio all the time. Why can't I think of the name of it? Anyways, because it just reminds us of Logan crying. It's like, and that's the only thing that would calm him down was this one song. We had to blare it. It had to be really loud. That's what would get Logan to go to sleep. So it's just finding what works for each kid. Like each kid is different. Not all kids are going to be, you know, easy sleepers or, you know, easy potty trainers, easy eaters, easy at anything. Some kids are just more challenging in, you know, getting them to sleep through the night. We've had a few that are more challenging to get to sleep through the night. Reagan was not. She was the easiest baby in the world, y'all. Oh my goodness. She seriously, like I could have 20 of those. Like they were, she was the easiest baby. Okay. All right, moving on. Tia Brink. So she is a mother of 8 children. That is awesome, Tia. And she's always looking for encouragement. They've been having some behavioral issues with their oldest boys, and I was just hoping that you could share some similar experience. Girl, amen. Parenting older children has been so hard. Yes, it is. I'm right there with you. It gives me encouragement when I hear others talk about what they've been through with their own children. It's just nice to know that you're not alone. It is. And honestly, we have been in this season for a little bit, and I have said this many times. The little kids are so much easier than the older kids. Like, they seriously are just so much easier. It's just a different dynamics. And I mean, you have 8 kids, so having the older kids and the younger kids together, I mean, it's a lot. I don't have any like sage advice or wisdom, except we sit down And I'll just tell you what we do. What the heck was that? Oh, that's Jackson outside. I just saw like this thing fly. I was like, what is that out the window? Okay, it's Jackson. It's okay. Jackson's not flying. He threw something. We sit down and we talk with our kids, and we talk about appropriate behavior, inappropriate behavior, how you're treating your siblings. It's not, this wasn't a correct response. How should we have done it? Constant redirecting. So a big thing that we do is, let's say one child hits another child or offends another child or wrongs the other child, is this child will have to do this kid's chores. And serve that child as an apology. That does work really well. And we don't even have to do that as often as what we used to. We talk about, how could you have done this differently? How could you have handled this better? The big issue that we have is like kids wanting to parent each other. We're like, okay, you say your piece, say one time, please stop doing whatever that kid is doing that's bothering you. Then if they don't, come and get mom and dad. Doesn't go perfectly. Constant redirecting, like I said, and it's very hard. I just dropped my paper. But like I said, just constant redirecting, going over it many times over and over again is all that I really feel like we can do. Like, we've laid the groundwork. They know right from wrong, and they need to choose the right choice, the right decision on how to handle a situation. But they're not always going to. So there's a lot of talking and a lot of praying. I had to turn on another fan because it's getting a little too warm in here for me. So you'll hear that noise in the background. Angela Porta said, that's so sweet of you. I hope your family have a wonderful weekend and God bless you. You too, Angela. Lindsay Baker, need all of the potty training tips and tricks. Oh, girlfriend. And she's just had to struggle with her son's potty training. That is like on the top of my list, like that I despise doing as a mom. Oh my goodness, it is hard. Okay, again, I'm not like a potty training guru. The more children we've had, the longer I've waited to potty train. I keep thinking I'm gonna potty train Drew. He's 2. He turned 2 in March. And I actually was wanting to do it last week, and Nathan just looked at me. He was like, just release that right now. He was like, you're very pregnant, you're tired. I don't even know how you're going to accomplish that. He will get there. Let's just not worry about it right now. It's like, so I didn't. Anyways, so I usually wait till they're like, Taylor was potty trained before she was 2, y'all. I had it going on back then. Not so much now. So I go bottomless, or is what I have the kids do, is I don't have them wear anything. Now, that's harder now that we have so many children. Like, I don't like a kid just running around like that. So I will put like a longer t-shirt on them so that you can't just see their bottom. And constant, taking them to the potty and talking about it, but them feeling themselves pee and it going down their legs, I think makes them realize quicker than using pull-ups or those training pants or rubber pants or so on and so forth. And it's like, you just have to dedicate a week of doing nothing else but potty training. You don't go anywhere. You don't do anything. You roll up all the rugs that you have in your house, all the throw blankets, all the throw pillows. You pack up all that stuff and you just get into the nitty gritty. You're prepared for the messes. If you have a carpet shampooer because you having carpet in your house, that's a good idea. That's why I bought one. I've done a sticker chart. That has helped some kids. We've done an M&M every time that they go. That's helped some kids. We've done, different surprises. And that's where it's like so much of parenting. It's like, it depends on the child. Like, stickers worked for Taylor. It was easy. She didn't like being messy. It was easy. Some kids didn't care about stickers. Some kids didn't care about being messy. So those kids, definitely, our latest that was potty trained was, he was 3. And I swore it was going to do me in. And that's why I bought a carpet shampoo, was because of that kid. So you just get in, give it a week, especially if they're older. Like if they're over 2.5, you just have to stay consistent. And that's how come I wanted to do Drew before we started school, because I cannot homeschool and potty train at the same time. It's just not going to happen. So my older kids are old enough that they can do their schoolwork, but the kids that need me, like, we're just going to have a week off from school to potty train Drew. That's just how I've done it, and it has worked. Okay, so Marina Rosa asked, can you name one thing that you love about each of your kids? So I did kind of write some stuff down because I didn't want to take forever on this, and I thought that was very sweet, because having 10 kids, well, I can be here for a long time for this. Okay, so Taylor is very sweet and caring, and she will see a need and want to go help with it. Like if she sees, you know, Drew struggling with something, I don't have to say anything to her. She will go and help him. She's very tender, and she's honestly kind of like my sidekick. Like she's just always enjoyed helping in the kitchen. Anything that I'm doing, she's done right along with me. There was a time where I was crocheting a lot. She knows how to do a ton of stuff. Whenever I was dabbling in making jewelry, she knows how to do that. Like she's just learned so much because she has just always wanted to be right by me and do all the things. Okay, so Addison, she is adventurous and she is a go-getter. If there's something that girl wants, ain't nothing gonna stand in her way. She also is very sweet and tender towards babies. She loves babies. In fact, she keeps telling us she wants us to have 19 kids. I said right now I'm having 11. Peyton, she loves nature. She loves being outside. She loves climbing trees. And I love that about her. She also loves little kids and toddlers and babies. Like if she sees, again, Drew or Harper, she loves taking them outside and playing with them. Jackson, his eyes, y'all, he has got these crystal baby blue eyes and they are just gorgeous. He loves sports. He's kind of like my hair is like stuck in my eyelashes. Sorry. It's from the fan now blowing. He's like your typical all around American boy. Miley, her smile is just like the best. We call her Smiley Miley, and she's just so bubbly. Like she just like kind of like bounces all around all day. Logan, he's actually very creative. And some of the things that he does, I'm like, kid, where did you get this from? And he's always been like that. It's kind of amazing to see. There's no stopping him either. If he's got something in his mind, there's no stopping him. Reagan, girlfriend is sassy, and it's kind of comical. And her facial expressions, she just is constantly making some crazy face. So Harper, she is a daddy's girl and a mama's girl. Like she wants Nathan and I. And she loves to snuggle. Drew, his smile, y'all, his smile just melts me so much. It just lights up his whole entire face, and it is just the best thing ever. And actually, I really, really like his energy. Y'all see him. And that's how come I film it, because I just think it's the cutest thing in the world. And he is just a ball of energy, and it just, I don't know, I just think it's cute. So, and Kinley, she is very, very cuddly. She's very happy and like kind of like just plays by herself. Like she's happy. You don't really have to like entertain her. She's a very good baby. She is also definitely a daddy's girl. Most of our girls have been a daddy's girl, but she sees Nathan and she's like, da, 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 da. And it's just the sweetest thing in the world. And it blesses me. Nathan's now outside we have a Frisbee golf thingamajig in our backyard, and he's out there doing that, and he was just making faces at me. He's about to take the kids to the pool though. Okay, Michelle McCormick asked, do you recommend having a large family? What are some pros and some cons? Did you have a lot of help when your first few kids were younger? So we did not have much help at all. In fact, our first 4 kids were born in Georgia. We were both born and raised in Florida. We had moved to Georgia to help start a church plant. We lived there for 5.5 years. So we had our first 4 kids within those 5.5 years. And we didn't have family close by, like at all. So it was me and Nathan, primarily me, because Nathan worked a ton back then, like 70 hours a week. And it, no joke, was very hard. And that's partly what pushed us to move back to Florida, was I wanted to be close to family. So although that time I wouldn't trade it for the world, it was very good for Nathan and I think very good as like new parents, because it was us and God, and that's all that we had to rely on. With that said, we did have many good friends that did come in and help, like whenever I was sick. We had a great church family. So we did have support, but it wasn't like calling my mom and being like, hey, I need your help. So anyways, it was hard, but it was also good because we created those friendships with our church family and with our dear friends that we still have today. But it definitely was, we had some challenging moments for sure. Okay, so I obviously love having a large family. I don't know that it's for everybody. Like, if you don't feel like it's for you, then I think that you should just trust God's leading in that. I don't know. You just don't want to have children for the sake of having children. I love having a large family, and if anybody asked me if I recommend it, I would say yes. I love the constant, the chaos, all of it. And that's one thing when Nathan and I were talking about having a large family, or even on the days where I was overwhelmed when we had 3-4 kids, Nathan would constantly encourage me, think of the big picture. When the kids are grown and gone and they come back home, we'll have a large family around the dinner table for Christmas dinners and Thanksgiving and Easter and Sunday dinners, all that. That just always encouraged us and kept us going, because the hard part when they're all at home, that doesn't last forever. In fact, it's going to go by so much faster than what we could ever imagine. So the pros would be everything that I just said. I just love having all of them around me. With that said, the con is sometimes it's a lot. And sometimes everybody needs you, like all at once, or it's like a revolving door. One kid comes in, mom, and then, okay, handle that problem. Mom, okay, handle that problem. Okay, mom, okay, handle that problem. And then it's like, okay, this is a lot. Y'all just give me a second. So that would be the hard part, is when they all need you at one time. And also the hard part is, kind of the dynamics of having little kids and older kids and meeting those needs that they have. It's not like it's that hard. It just sometimes is mentally and emotionally exhausting, and physically, depending on what you're doing. So I hope that makes sense, because sometimes the older kids need to sit down and chit chat and figure things out of whatever they're going through. But then you have Drew, little ball of energy that you're getting off the table and having to get him outside and play. So sometimes that can just be a bit tired. We're used to it now, but that can sometimes be challenging. Laura Aliman, I'm so sorry, I'm totally botching that, asked if I had any ideas on how to keep toddlers, especially very young and very active toddlers, busy. I don't have one of those. With safe and age-appropriate activities. Also, she'd love to hear about my self-care routine, and any tips for caring for a toddler and a baby. She's expecting her second the first week of March. Well, congratulations. That is exciting. Okay, so with where you're at, honestly, just focus on their basic needs. Like having a busy toddler. Whenever I had, it was just me and little kids, I would be nursing the baby and playing London bridges with my legs up on an ottoman with the toddler at the time, because they wanted mommy too, but I was nursing the baby. So that's just the game that we ended up doing, was playing London bridges. That's something that I could do. Or I would sit and read stories with them while I was caring for the baby, if the baby needed to be held. You just jump in and you're mom. You just do what you have to do. And it really isn't that hard. It's just going to be a different routine than what you're used to. As far as a very active toddler, I just try to keep my kids active just because I think it's good for them. We don't do a ton of TV and tablets or any of that. So I would take the kids places. We would go to the playground. I'm talking like I had a 18-month-old and a baby. We would go to the playground and, pack a picnic lunch. I tried to do like some mom groups that were just like online, and they met like once a week or once a month. I didn't really connect in those places, and they were kind of hard for me. But there's all sorts of stuff like that. There's MOPS groups. I did like the MOPS groups. I did do MOPS, and that was good for us. So I'm a busybody, so I like to stay busy. I would just have safe toys out as well, so that if you're busy with a baby, the toddler can play with the blocks or whatever that you have out that would be safe for them, and not have out tiny pieces like Legos or anything like that. So I just made sure that all those types of things were up, and I just hope for the best every single day. Oh. Okay, so Emily Hill asked, what are your top reasons that you chose to homeschool? So at the time, like I said, when we were newlyweds and we were talking about, our family, where we lived, the county, the school district just isn't that good. So that's why I wanted to homeschool. Since then, my reasons have changed, and I really like having the kids home with me. It's like this time is so short, and I really like that we are the ones pouring into our children, not just academically, but spiritually and emotionally, and just us as a family as a whole. And I like that all of my kids are together. So we sit and we do a lot of subjects together, and they in turn are turning into each other's best friends. So we're sending them to school. One, they're separated in different classes. Now that's good. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but they kind of create their own lives, especially at the ages that my oldest kids are at. And instead of having a family unit, it's more a little scattered. And I love the idea of us being a family unit and us all being close. So that's what honestly keeps me going. Okay, Caitlin Fitch asked, are y'all planning on moving into a bigger home? Girlfriend, I hope so. So our home is, I had this question coming up. Our home is 2,500 square feet. It's actually just over. It's like 2,570 or something like that. And while it works, it is getting a little tight. I feel like the living areas are okay. Switching this room that I'm in right now to our oldest daughter's room was a fantastic idea. I did not like the idea at first. That's how come we hadn't done it. Nathan talked me into it, and it was a really good idea. It was a playroom before this. I have a video on that too that if I remember, I will link below. I need to make notes. Jessica, post, you need to do that in the description box. I need to write notes because I'll forget, y'all. So we are making it work, and while it works and it functions, I would love bigger bedrooms for the kids that are in regular size bedrooms here. They're kind of small. And there's some other things that I would really like. Honestly, I dream of building our own house. So hopefully God will bring that to light. We are praying about it. We are looking. We just looked at a house that's actually a foreclosure. It's technically the same size as this house, but our thought was the layout might be a little bit better. I don't know that that's going to work out because the auction price is already going up pretty high, and we need a good deal, y'all. We need a good deal. And right now the housing market is just insane, and we don't want to pay an insane amount because obviously we got 10 kids to feed, almost 11 kids to feed. So we'll see. We do pray about it, and we are very hopeful that we will move. It's just when is the actual question. Ask God. Okay, so Mama D and family asked, what is your favorite and least favorite part of pregnancy? Any tips on keeping up with the other kids when you're pregnant and just feel like you need a break? She is pregnant. Congratulations with her third, and she's struggling. Girlfriend. Yes, actually, whenever I was pregnant with my third, that was a much harder pregnancy than my first or my second. And so subsequent pregnancies are just harder on your body because things are looser and stretched out, and those ligament pains and the sciatic pains and all of those are just more real and much more intense. It is no joke. Imagine your 11th girlfriend. And it's hard. I just focus on the positive. After 9 months, I'm holding our baby, and it is worth every ounce of pain or tiredness that I am going through. With that said, going through it is hard, and I have days where I'm just exhausted. So I try to rest when I can, not do too much, which is very hard for me, and let things sit that can sit. So say folding the laundry, that doesn't have to get done. Making a simple meal instead of doing homemade whatever bread or whatever. I can make things simpler. So I just try to do things like that on the days that I'm really not feeling it. Drink tons of water, take care of yourself, take your prenatal vitamins. I have started taking an iron supplement. I'm hoping that that will help me because I've kind of been feeling pretty crummy lately. And so far it actually is. And don't be afraid to ask your doctor to check your blood levels. I'm going to do that at my next appointment too. So the hard part, or my least favorite, did you ask my favorite? Yeah. So my least favorite part is definitely all the pain and tiredness. Like I said, I'm a busybody. I like to go, I like to do things, I like to get stuff done. I really don't like asking Nathan, hey, can you help me with this? Because I just physically can't. I like to do it myself. But I can't right now, so I have to ask, and that's really hard for me. I don't like that. Or I have to be patient and wait for it to get done, not by me. That's what I really, really dislike. So my favorite part would be feeling the baby. It's a connection that only mom and baby can have. Nobody else has that. Nobody. Like right now is such a sweet time because it's just me and the baby. And once he's born, I have to share him with everybody else, or I have to have somebody help me, like, hey, can you hold the baby so I can do whatever? Like right now, he just comes along with me. So that is my favorite part. So Maritza Velasquez asked, and I apologize if I mess up your name, do you plan on having any more kids? Thank you for sharing your videos. Thank you so much. So I answered that. I don't know. Only time will tell. Take it one baby at a time. Okay, Josephina Sharp. Hi, Josephina. Asked, what are some of your favorite YouTube channels? So right now, so I kind of go through spurts of different things that I watch. Right now, I am hands down loving Roots and Refuge Farm. I love to garden. I love just everything about it. So I watch her channel all the time. And along with that, there's several other like homesteading type channels that I like to watch, but she is my absolute favorite. She is so encouraging. So I'll go through spurts of diving into I pretty much only have time to watch like 1 or 2 a night. And then I really like Megan's channel, Pennies and Salt. I will link her as well. And I like watching just different vlogs. I do watch Our Tribe of Many sometimes. So it just kind of depends on my mood and like, I think kind of what I'm going through and what I'm doing. Right now, I love the garden. It's garden season, so that's the main thing that I'm watching. Do I have any tips on socializing homeschoolers? No, it's not really that hard. You just go out there and they make friends. And that's such a big misconception with homeschoolers, is that they're unsocialized. They're not. In fact, I have to say, no, we cannot do this because we have to school. Like today, we are starting school tomorrow, and there's already been 2 or 3 things for this week. And I'm like, guys, I'm sorry, we can't. We're starting school. They've been at friends' houses back and forth. My biggest thing is to always be open to having kids in your house. Like as far as like inviting their friends over, my kids know that they can invite their friends over anytime, and I'm pretty much okay with it because I think that's important, because that's where it's going to happen, is at home, because we homeschool. Don't be afraid to get out there and go to the parks and go to the libraries and, invite people over, or to meet up at Chick-fil-A or at a playground. Like, don't be afraid to be the one to initiate it. And that's just kind of how we do things. And like I said, we have to say no to a lot of things. Okay, so Lori Steely asks, are there rules or laws about homeschooling in Florida and what you use to homeschool? No, there's no rules about what we use. The only laws that we have is that at the end of the year, we either need to turn in a portfolio evaluation or testing scores. And at the beginning of your homeschooling, you have to turn in a letter of intent to homeschool. And that is it in Florida. So I choose to do a portfolio evaluation. And so you have to find a certified teacher. She looks over our work and she signs off on it, gives me a sheet of paper, and I mail that to the county. That's it. Now you need to check with your state, because each states are different, and some states you can't homeschool in, and some states are super laid back. Florida is considered one of the laid back states, and I am thankful for it because that makes my life just a little bit easier. Okay, so Teresa, do you follow a daily routine? How do you fit cleaning in? So we do have a general flow to our day, especially when we're homeschooling. We have a set nap time for the little ones, a rough set time for lunch. Lunch is usually between 11:30 and 12. Nap time is from 1 to they wake up, or 4 o'clock. And fitting and cleaning. So we do have a daily routine with cleaning. I've shared our chore system on here before. I will link that as well. And that is seriously what we do every single day. With having this many people, our kitchen gets swept 2, if not 3 times a day. Same with our living room. So our main living areas are picked up every single day. The deep cleaning, no, I don't have a schedule, and I get to it whenever I get to it, and it's driving me nuts. That's how we do it. Same with the bedrooms. I like for them to stay clean. I tell them to pick up, but those do tend to get away from us because we're busy with doing other stuff. And kids go in there and play, and that's just life with kids. But as far as like deep cleaning, no, I just do it whenever it's driving me nuts. Amber Molly. So she's curious how big her house is, square footage wise. They're thinking about homeschooling and also debating on moving, and she's not sure what she would want her house to be if she was to homeschool. Okay, so like I said, our house is 2570 square feet. Now, as far as having a homeschool room, it's not necessary, especially there are so many ideas on Pinterest and YouTube of how to homeschool in small spaces. Now, we do have a homeschool room, but we don't actually school in that room much at all. I do plan on doing like Reagan and Harper's school in there this year. Hopefully that will work. It's hard with a large family to homeschool in a room. One, it's not the biggest room, so I can't have a table in there big enough for everybody. There's not enough room for desks for everybody in there. So it's more of like a holding spot for all the homeschool stuff. Now that would be hard to give up for me. But I could see using a good size walk-in closet or a good size, like if you had an area where you could do like closed doored storage would be helpful. Because with looking at moving and looking at different houses, that's one thing that I look at is where can I put my homeschool stuff. And those are ideas that I have, like if there's a hallway or something, like you could put like those IKEA bookshelves that have the doors that you don't see all this stuff. So you just kind of have to be creative. Like I wouldn't let space limit you in homeschooling by any stretch of the imagination. So the kids will go get their books. The older girls sometimes come in here and do school, or we all sit at the dining room table usually. Sometimes we're on the couch. Sometimes we're outside. Like that's the freedom in homeschooling, is not being stuck at a desk for hours. And that's been very beneficial for us. We are getting there. I'm almost done. I'm like, oh, this video is going to be so long. I apologize, but I like to get to everybody's questions. Okay, so Bailey Wager asked, will Harper be doing the same pre-K program as Reagan? And with her previous medical history with seizures, do you think that she'll have any struggles when she starts school? Or do you think she'll learn about the same as the rest of the children her age? So that was an interesting question to me. So if y'all don't know, Reagan, she's our 7th child. She was 4 last year. She's 5 now. She was our first kid that we ever sent to the pre-K program. It's free where we live. And she went to a private Christian school for pre-K. And while it was good, and you asked me a couple months ago, I 100% would have said yes, that I was going to send Harper. Fast forward to today, and I'm not sending Harper. I honestly toyed with even sending Reagan to kindergarten simply because I was overwhelmed. And the thought of adding a new baby, and I was going to have to homeschool all these kids. Like, I want to do a good job, and I want Reagan and Harper to get the education that they need as well. But after prayer and really thinking about it and what would be best for our family, we decided to keep them home. So Reagan and Harper will both be home. I will not be sending them. There was a lot of thought and different situations that went into us making that decision. But yes, Harper will be staying home. I actually just got the Good and the Beautiful pre-K for her, and I will be doing Reagan and Harper at the same time in the morning. I got a schedule, and I'm going to stick to it, y'all. We'll see. I'm going to do the best that I can. Okay, so if y'all don't know, Harper, she's our 8th baby. She is 3. She's almost 4. She was born, and shortly thereafter, we realized that something was not right. After a long, stretched out process, we realized that she was having seizures. I do share her whole story on a video that I did, goodness, over 2 years ago. And I'm making notes to link these videos. So as far as where she's at, she has been off of her medicine for over 2 years. So she was on anti-seizure meds for not even quite 2 years because she stopped having seizures. And with the base of the ratio of how much medicine was in her system, she should have had seizures if she was going to have them. So we weaned her off the medicine, and we have not had any issues. Praise the Lord. Oh, I'm so thankful. And once it's been 5 years, she will be considered epilepsy free. So we have 1 more year for that, and she will be considered epilepsy free. We have had nothing ever arise to indicate that she was having a seizure. All of her testing came back normal. She doesn't have any scarring on her brain, nothing. Again, praise the Lord, because it was very, very scary. She has always hit milestone things, and they prepared us. They didn't know what her quality of life was. And to hear those words come out of a doctor's mouth about your baby, oh, it's heart-wrenching. Like, I could seriously just throw up just thinking about this. They weren't sure if she would crawl, walk, talk, feed herself. They were not sure because of the types of seizures that she was having, and she was not getting any oxygen during those times. And she was so little, you couldn't tell. Anyways, I don't want to, okay, I gotta stop talking about that. She's perfectly fine. In fact, she's above average. It's a miracle. She is our miracle baby. And I praise God for her every single day. So she rolled over before she was supposed to, walked when she was supposed to. Girlfriend does not stop talking. And she's very excited for pre-K. Okay, so Karen S., I did answer yours earlier about, I wanted to put that together with the Bible verse from Miss Alma asking. Okay, so Kelly Little asked, do you ever get nervous to tell family you are expecting again? And do you deal with any negative comments? Yes, I do get nervous. I was nervous telling them our first and our second and our third. It's just nerve-wracking to say, oh, you know, we're having a baby. I do get nervous. Overall, our comments are very positive. And the negative comments that we have received, you just got to brush them off. I mean, we've had family members say stuff, but are they waking up in the middle of the night with a baby? No. Are they the ones carrying the baby? No. Are they the ones buying the milk for the baby? No. Diapers? No. We are. So really their opinion is very invalid. And they can say that they're concerned or they're worried, but we're taking care of our children. We're providing for them. There's no reason to be concerned. We've had some people express concern for my health. I'm obviously healthy. I'm managing every single day. It's out of the unknown right now. It's where a few generations ago, this was normal. And people didn't really question people on how many kids that they have. Just people today think that they have an opinion to everybody in everybody's life. And really you don't. So. And I always crack up because it's like, as people say, you know, like, are you going to ever stop having kids? Are you going to ever stop having this? And I'm like, I'm just going to start going around to people, no offense, if you only have 1 or 2 children, no offense at all, who only have 1 or 2 or no children. We know some people who have chosen not to have any children. Be like, when are you going to have another baby? When are you going to have some more babies? Like, really? It's everybody's decision. So that's how we look at it. And it really doesn't bother me. This time we actually did get a lot of people saying things like, I really think that you should be done. Well, I'm really glad that you think so. Like, nobody's asking for your help or your advice here. So you can just be on with yourselves. Anyways, I think most people do say it out of concern, but there really is no reason to be concerned. Now, if a family wasn't taking care of 11 kids, then yes, there would be cause for concern, but there's no cause for concern here. So we just brush it off. And honestly, Nathan helps me with that. He's like, who cares, Jessica? I mean, we see them a few times a year, like, just move it on. So yes, I do get nervous and we do deal with some comments, but whatever. You're going to have comments about whatever you do in life. Okay, so Joanna Oliveira asked, which place in the world do you wish planned to travel together as a big family? Honestly, I would love to do like not an RV. I don't know, maybe an RV. I would love to do like an American road trip and see just all the monumental sites and all of those things. I just think would be so much fun. And Nathan thinks I'm absolutely crazy. I have tried talking him into it. He's like, we can stay at a VRBO everywhere. And I'm like, we can't afford that. I just think it would be fun and a great way to see America. I would love to go to Europe with the kids. I would love to go anywhere, honestly. So we do try to do a vacation, but those are mostly on the East Coast because it's cheaper to get there. But, so hopefully one day we'll be able to do more traveling, but we just do what we can for now. Okay, so Jacinta Cody asked, what do you like to do to unwind? So I am a very much busybody. Like I don't know. Somebody had asked about self-care and I didn't answer that. I'm not a big like, oh, I need to sit down and read and this helps me unwind, or I don't know. I'm not a big like self-care type person. The biggest thing that I do for myself that I need every single day is a shower and then I can do anything. And I'd prefer to have makeup on while I'm doing it. Sometimes makeup doesn't happen and that's okay, but that's what helps make me feel better about me. So as far as like self-care, okay, I totally like jumped subjects. She had asked what I like to do to unwind. So I do different things. Like if I feel like, oh, sweet Jesus, I need a moment, I will go and walk in my garden, pull some weeds, pray, listen to worship music. That helps me a lot. That helps me more than anything. Like I usually leave the situation and go outside in my garden. If I can't do that, I will just leave the room and go to my room and listen to worship music and pray. As far as like unwinding to relax, again, gardening, I really like that. I really do enjoy crocheting as well. I don't do that as much right now. I haven't in a while. I like to watch, just mindless TV here and there. I like to read. I like to do a bunch of different things. It just kind of depends on my mood and what season I'm in and what I have time for. Right now I don't have much time for crocheting because I don't sit too much, but also whenever I'm sitting, it's not like in a length of time that I can get a lot of crocheting done. Anyways, usually that's in the winter is whenever I crochet. Nathan's like, you have seasons of when you do stuff. It's kind of funny. He's like, in the spring and summer, like you're outside, you're gardening. He's like, in the winter, you're sitting down, you're crocheting. And I'm like, yeah, I guess you're right. Never really thought about it. Okay, so Bailey Headstrom, asked, she says that she's a homeschooling mom of 5, and she's trying to figure out how to school 3 kids that are in 5th, 3rd, and 1st, while a 4-year-old daredevil and a busy 1-year-old girlfriend. Have you seen my videos and trying to get stuff done? Oh, it's just a season of life, and you just have to own it. Like, I say make homeschooling as simple as you can. Group the subjects together that you can. 4-year-old, I would include as much as you can. Like, that helps a lot is when you include them, whether it's with a ABC book from the dollar store, a simple craft, some watercolors. Those books that you just paint with water are great. Those can get messy too though. And a busy 1-year-old. Yes, I'm wondering now honestly how I'm going to do it with having Drew, Kinley, and this baby. I mean, seriously, Drew's 2, Kinley will be 1 soon, and a newborn. Just know that it's a season and do the best that you can. Read aloud to all of them. Sometimes we did this over lunch a lot, as we would read aloud over lunch because everybody was sitting and eating and was quiet. Or utilize nap time to the best of your ability. And just know that unless you keep having them, the season will end. I'm just kidding. Just do the best that you can. Like, your kids are getting what they need, and know that and trust that. And I'm reminding myself with that too. I just had a friend tell me that. She's like, Jessica, I wouldn't worry. Your kids are very well educated. This is one of my co-op mom friends. They always have something interesting to say about whatever we're doing at co-op. You are doing a good job. Just keep doing what you're doing. So don't sell yourself short. Bailey. I love that name. That's Addison's middle name. Nicole Myers asked, no question. Sorry. Just enjoy your videos. Thank you, Nicole. All right. Teresa asked, do you lose all the baby weight between babies? If yes, how? Girlfriend, I wish. If not, then how in your mind do you deal with not being pre-baby's weight? Well, if I was pre-baby's weight, I was like 115 pounds, y'all. Oh my goodness. Anyways, that's tiny. Basically, how do you come to peace with this? This is something that women struggle with a lot. They do. And I think it's important to know, one, Nathan constantly, if I say something about my weight, he is constantly affirming me and lifting me up. He's like, I like your body and just the way that it is, obviously. And he's like, your body has birthed children. Like, our bodies have been through a lot. It is normal for, like, my hips have gotten wider with having babies. That's normal because a woman's body was created to make and birth these babies. So I would first and foremost not let the negative thoughts like get in. And anytime that I'm really struggling with that, I just try to affirm myself as well and not compare myself to others. That's the hard thing. I have not lost all the baby weight. I did do very good up until after Harper. I never lost all the baby weight. And that was always my goal. But really, is that a realistic goal? Is to focus on the scale or to focus on how you feel? And once I started thinking about it like that, that totally changed. Once I felt better and had more energy, that's what matters, is keeping up with my children, not how a pair of shorts looks on me or what the scale number says. And it's obviously, it's important what Nathan thinks or what my husband thinks, not what other people thinks. And Nathan doesn't have a problem with anything. So. But I think it's also owning the beauty of your body and what your body has done is absolutely amazing. And don't sell that short. So in the past, I've done Trim Healthy Mama, more again for health reasons. I have done low carb, again, more for health reasons. And the natural benefit of eating healthier is you do lose weight. So yeah, that's how I kind of deal with it. I was really trying to lose some weight after having Kinley. I got pregnant very quickly. I'm not gonna lie, that was hard as far as like, I was like, I didn't lose the weight that I wanted to lose. I'm very happy to be having another baby. But that is on my mind, like, I really want to lose this baby weight. More so for how I feel, like my body hurts because I have excess weight. But once after I have this baby, I will give myself a grace period and then hopefully get to eating healthier and exercising. Okay, so Sandy Hare asked, do you plan on having more children? We shall see. Okay, so Linder Farms Large Family Life asked, do you have any baby names that you wish that you would have used and just hasn't felt like the right name for the baby? That's a good question. So watch our baby name videos. So Nathan and I had shared how we named our 9 kids at the time that we had this. I was pregnant with Kinley, and then we just shared a baby naming video on this baby. And so we mentioned them. I had really wanted, there's several names that I have wanted to use, but the biggest ones that stand out to me would be Emma for a girl and Eli for a boy. I had really liked Emma, and Nathan did too at the time, and then he changed his mind. So no girl has ever been Emma, but if this baby was a girl, she would have been he, she. If this baby was a girl, I was going to use the name Emma. I didn't care what Nathan said, and I told him that. I was like, I'm using the name Emma Catherine, I think is what I had said, Emma Catherine. And he, well, we're having a boy. So for a boy, originally we had like the name Eli, but we never used it. And Nathan now doesn't like it. So I would have to say those 2 names, Emma and Eli. Now, before we were married, I had fallen in love with the name Kylie, K-I-L-E-Y. And Nathan didn't like it. And I was really kind of upset about that because I really, really liked it. Well, now we have a Miley. I was like, how do you not like Kylie, but you like Miley? And then we have a Kinley. So I kind of got it in there just a little bit. Okay, so Karen S. asked, a woman should find an age and stick to it. How old are you, and do you have an exercise routine? Please share. So I am 37. I turned 37 in April. And do I have an exercise routine? No, not really. I did at one time, whenever I was really trying to lose some of the baby weight. This is after I had Reagan, and I just simply felt so much better. And after the kids went to bed, I didn't sit down. I immediately started working out. And that worked. And even Nathan was like, how on earth are you just not passing out? But I gave myself 30 to 45 minutes to work out, and I just felt really good. But I have not done that since then. So here and there, I'll go for a walk. I do a lot of garden work, but no, I don't have like a set exercise routine. I do plan on doing one after I have the baby. So, and it's simple stuff. Like I'm not an exercise guru. Oh, so Jessica Braga asks, do your kids watch your videos? So I actually had to ask them. I was like, do y'all watch our videos? Like, I was curious. I knew that sometimes that they did, but I wasn't sure like how consistently. We don't really watch YouTube on the TV. So I wasn't sure. Taylor said sometimes, Addison said sometimes too. Peyton said not really. Occasionally she will. Miley is probably the one who does the most. So, and how we handle that, like I had somebody ask me how we handle media time. Where did that question go? I didn't answer that. Somebody had asked, I remember reading it, how we handle media time. So I don't have like a set, like you only get 20 minutes a day or whatever. They don't have media or tablets or anything like that until after schoolwork and chores is done. And it's after 4 o'clock. And then they can have like 45 minutes. Most of our children choose not to do that and they want to go outside and play. So they'll ask like if we're not doing anything or whatever. And if I know that they haven't had any, I'll say yes. And that's like, they'll ask, hey, can I watch this on YouTube? So that's how we handle it. And I just kind of monitor their phones and stuff like that. So, and this phone, it's a tablet, it's not a phone, but anyways, so Pescaline, I'm so sorry, I'm botching these, asked, why so many little angels and how many kids do you think is enough or too much for you and your husband? So I kind of answered that along the way. We really wanted to have a large family. We weren't sure how many children we would have. I'm very thankful for each and every one of them. We feel like children are a blessing, and I want every single one that I have and every single one that the Lord wants to give us. I don't think of it as too much or too little. Like, it's honestly, I mean, I know seeing a large family, 10 kids, wow, that's a lot. Like, how did you make that decision? But it really is, I mean, they're not brought to us, here's 10 kids. It's one at a time. And we adjust to each one, and it just feels normal to us. Like I can't, like when one kid is missing, when one kid is at a friend's house, it's weird. It's like, even though having 10 children and one is gone, like you miss them. It's just not the same. So I don't have any set numbers of it being enough or too much or anything like that. We just trust the Lord, and God has blessed us with these children, so He will give me the means to care for them and be there for them and provide for them, and that is how we live our life. So I can't really answer it any other way. Okay, I have no idea how long this video is, so I apologize it being long, but y'all's questions are not just like one word answers, so, and I do tend to talk too much. So anyways, thank you all so much for your support. I will link all the videos that I mentioned. If I remember, I will try my very best in the description box below, because those go into more detail, like stuff about Harper. I have several homeschooling videos where I share how to homeschool with multiple kids, how to homeschool when you have little ones and no help. And also there's several other resources on YouTube, not just me, that are very helpful to give you good ideas in those areas, like setting up a toddler station that they can get into, or busy boxes or busy bags, or so on and so forth. There are so many great ideas out there. So just you have to find what works for you, but I will try to remember to link all those videos. So be sure to check those out if I didn't dive into enough or if I referenced that video. So thank you guys for hanging out with me and asking all these questions, and we'll see y'all in the next video.